like to draw the bubbles here, okay? Or the arcs, whatever you want to call that. So 3 times 2y is 6y. 3 times negative 7 is negative 21. Pay attention to your signs. Now, there's no like terms to combine, so that one's done. Okay? Those are all going to be the same. The only thing I would caution you against on these first ones that seem pretty simple is when you're distributing this negative through, okay, that's negative 6m. And then that's negative 18. Okay. Let's look at number 8 together. 7a, we're going to take through 3 times now. So I have 3 arcs I'm drawing. So 7 times 3 is 21. And then negative 14ac. Okay, and then 21 for 28a. 7 times 4 is 28.
And how does that A, like for the 7, like affect everything else? It just
Right here?
AB? Yeah.
It's got to be there. You got to include it. So like here we did a times b, which was ab, right?
Okay. And it always goes in front of it, right?
It should be in alphabetical order.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So whenever you do variables, always think in alphabetical order. So A would always go first. Good question. Okay, number 10. We all love fractions, right? See a fraction, there's a little flutter in our soul, a little shot of dopamine, of joy. Okay, so 2/3 times 1/4. When I multiply fractions, I just go straight across. So this would be 2 over 12. You guys see that? So that'd be 2 over 12 x, and then minus 6 over 1 is how I'm going to write that, because I'm multiplying by this 2/3, because I have to take 2/3 through to the 6 also, yeah? So times 2 over 3. And I just wrote it out there. You can do it in your head if you like to do that. I just wanted to make sure you guys saw what I was doing here. We already did the 2/3 times 1/4. That was the 2 over the 12. So now 2 over 12, that's going to simplify to 1/6 x. Because 2, you can divide 2 out of 2 and 2 out of 12. Now when I do the second part, go straight across. So 6 times 2 is 12. 1 times 3 is 3. And now if I can keep simplifying, I will. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So final answer here, after all that mess, would be 1/6 x minus 4. Try to circle your final answers today. Let's look at number 12. We have a couple things to distribute here. Okay, here I have 6x plus 6. Now, one thing that's really important, when I distribute here, I'm not just going to distribute 5, I'm going to distribute negative 5. So however you can write that to remind yourself. So that would be negative 5x minus 10. After we distribute, we're back to what we did yesterday. Find your like terms and combine them together. So I have x's. 6x, and minus 5x. Those are my like terms. So that's x. We don't need to write the 1 in front of the x. 6 minus 5 is 1, but we just write it as x. And then we have a 6 and a negative 10. So it's a positive 6 minus 10 would give me a negative 4. So my final answer is x minus 4. Let's look at number 19 together. Okay, so here I have one thing to distribute, so I want to start with that. It looks like a big mess, right? So find those parentheses and start with that. So I'm going to take 8 through or negative 8. Which one? Negative 8. Yes, make sure you distribute. Whatever you got to do to remind yourself. Distribute negative 8 through. So that's negative 8w. And that's negative 24. You'd be all sorts of messed up if you put that plus 24. That's a 48 unit difference. 24 to negative 24, that's a big difference. And then we're bringing down the rest. And now back to like terms. So I have w's. Always start with your variable terms first. So a negative 8 and a positive 7 gives me negative w. A 21 and a negative 24, negative 3, plus 3 is 0. So we are all good right there. And that is because these things cancel each other out. Okay?